This is the kind of stack I really want to get, but we'll see if we can pull it off. I think I found a way to consistently do it. I got a redwood tree seed instead of a dragon fruit or spirit? Come on. Hello, and welcome to another Trailblazers progress video. So, in the last video, we accomplished probably the biggest unlock for the account, which was the Trident of the Seas. This magic weapon is massive because it's the only magic weapon I have that goes to 2-tick with my Relic. Everything else is 3-tick. It also does the most damage of anything I can get access to, so that coupled with the attack speed means that this is easily twice the DPS of any other bested slot weapon that I have. And for today's episode, I do not want to hesitate. I want to jump right in and start using this for PVM. I am super excited. There are a bunch of skilling goals I want to do, but none of them are required for what I want to do today. What I want to do is actually jump right into Saradomin and Godwars. There are a couple of unlocks that I want to get from there that I think would be super useful for the account to have earlier the better. One being the Armadillo Crossbow, and the other being the Saradomin Godsword. I would suspect the Godsword probably will be more difficult to achieve than the Crossbow, though they both have the same exact drop rate. The reason I want to do this right now is because you can't get a Slayer task that helps you at Saradomin, so there's no real reason for me to do it passively via Slayer. Also, with the Trident and the highest possible mage attack bonus I can muster, I'm hoping I'll be able to mage her down fairly easily using the same technique that you would normally use with a crossbow in the main game. In addition to that, because my mage attack bonus is above 60, that means that I can use bind spells that will hit 100% of the time to hold her in place for 15 seconds at a time. So I think that'll only amplify my ability to do this method. However, with Endless Run Energy, it really should be pretty simple. My idea is, because I have max mage bonus on that I can get, I will just camp prey range and then hope that exploding attacks will help me kill the minions as well. So yeah, really that simple. There's not much else to it. I'm excited. I want to jump in. I've never done Saradomin Godwars in OSRS, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Thankfully, because of that Spiritual Warriors task I did last time, I'm actually already up to enough kills to get in the door. And because of how Last Recall was playing with the Godwars room on the League, they decided to make it so that you only need to achieve kill count once to get into the room as many times as you want. So I'll always have that kill count and it'll never drop on the way down. So that's why I'm not worried about having to make lots of short trips if necessary. It doesn't take that long to get here. Here's what the inventory and gear setup look like. Obviously I'm going to put on the Fury and the Mystic Bottom when I get in the room. These are just on so I don't get attacked out here. I've got the Snare Runes as well as a little bit of food and mostly prayer, because I'm hoping that should keep me going while I'm inside. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Well, that was a lot rougher than expected, but it's a task at least. I'll kill the minions and be out of here, I think. Might need to reevaluate what I'm doing. Finally upgrading to the Mystic Robe Top puts my magic accuracy all the way up to 94 at the expense of a little bit of prayer. I think that's definitely worth it here. So I've got Starlight on top of Commander Ziliana here, and I'm actually attacking Starlight similar to the Chinchampa method with Kree'ara. And look how much damage I just did there. It's absolutely ridiculous. I honestly feel like it's going pretty well. I've killed 7 so far. If I get Starlight stuck underneath Commander Ziliana, I can basically take out 80% of her HP in one freeze. And then it's just a matter of dealing with the minions, which when you first come in the room, they actually spawn on top of each other. So I might actually be leaving the room between kills to come back because they're automatically stacked. Obviously not the melee minion, but I need him to damage Commander Ziliana anyway. And then beyond that, I think it's just a matter of getting good at flicking between the two, and we should be good to go. These magic potions are actually amazing because they increase the max hit that I can do with the Trident by like 2, I think. So I'll definitely be taking these. There's a Saradomin sword. That's cool. That's the first drop. I'll take it. Not one of the rare ones, but it's exciting. Well, there's 99 hit points and another Saradomin sword. Kind of wasn't expecting that. So I'm starting to get really happy with my rotation here. We'll see how this goes, if I can do it on camera. So first I get her attention, then I freeze Starlight, then I freeze her on top of Starlight. Oh, I whiffed that one. Never mind. So grab her attention, freeze Starlight here, freeze her here, and walk back to the tile. And she pushes him around sometimes. I'm assuming I would need to get him directly under her to be perfectly, so that he doesn't get moved out, but there you go. And now that she's unfrozen, just run over here to the minions. Get ready to freeze again on top of the minion. I could probably avoid getting hit there, so I just need to move a little bit further away, but now that she's on top of the minion, just need to DPS the minion down, and then she dies. And I need to work on my prayer flicks so that I can swap back and forth between these two guys and take less damage, but that's it. This is the kind of stack I really want to get, but we'll see if we can pull it off. I think I found a way to consistently do it. Alright, new strategy here. This tile is where the major spawns. Yeah, that didn't work. Alright, here's my newest strategy. First aggro Commander Zilliana, because she doesn't always see you. Freeze her on top of the mage, run through, freeze Starlight, and then they're all stacked. Sometimes the mage gets pushed out, but that's okay. Also, praying is good. Now that they're all stacked, take a few hits and then run over here. When she gets on top of the ranger, freeze her, attack the ranger a few times, freeze Starlight. Starlight's almost dead, so Starlight's probably going to die here. Gonna attack the ranger. Actually killed the major too, which isn't great. That means they probably will respawn before. Oh, and she didn't actually get stacked, so the major will respawn before she dies, unfortunately. But that's the theory anyway. I think with a little bit more perfecting I should be able to get it. This really makes me wish I had Ancients, but I do have a rotation that I think I'm happy with. So first Zilliana will spawn, freeze her on the major tile, run over here, freeze Starlight when he gets into the pile, and then attack Starlight, doing big damage to all of them, probably like 3, 4, 5 times, and then run over here. And then I'm going to try to continue to attack. Freeze Zilliana when she's here. Hopefully a tile before she gets me. And then that's where I mess up. Starlight ideally would be frozen before he got there so that he would be in the pile as well. But I can still attack Bree here a few times and then run back past the major. Ideally not get hit there. I didn't get hit. Freeze Starlight. Whoops. Freeze Zilliana. And that's it. So I'm just going to refine this and then hopefully get to a point where I can take significantly less damage in the process. Oh, the mate ranger's not quite on top. Oh well. But there's Ceridorman's sword number 3 and only 37 kills. Ceridorman's sword number 4. This time from a minion. Okay. See how this goes. I only have 70 HP, no food. Not bad, I'll take it. Alright, so there's the Armadillo crossbow, the main item I was going for here. I definitely also want the hilt and also Godwars shards to actually make the hilt, but this was the primary goal for sure. Now I have the best in slot ranging weapon for the rest of the game mode. I'm super excited to get that early. 54 kill count, about half as much kill count as you would expect to have for that, even with the increased drop rate. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, super excited about this Armadillo crossbow. Equipping it should be a task, I believe it's a 250 point task, which is super exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to trying that baby out. But for now, I'm going to stay at Sarah Godwars for a little while. I'm going to attempt to get the hilt. But we'll see. It's the same rarity of the Armadillo crossbow, so it could be there a while, and I probably won't stay there super much longer. So I'm pretty happy with my rotation. And it's a little bit difficult to pull off, but we'll see if this works. So basically I'm going to freeze Zilean on the mage tile, then run over here and freeze Starlight, and because Starlight had an early spawn, he's going to be a little bit forward, which means I'm going to attack Growler the Major instead, which isn't ideal, but pretty much every attack still hits. I just splashed maybe like 5% or so. After a few attacks, I'm going to head back, wait for Zilean to move forward, freeze her on this tile, wait for Starlight, freeze him right after her. Unfortunately, he got forward a tile as well. Ideally, he'd be on the same tile, but he still stacks, so it's okay. Gonna kill Starlight there. Sometimes he dies with the Major as well, but not this time. I took a couple melee hits, so I have to eat a bit. Normally I'd attack her during this window. Instead, I'll wait for her to walk here on top of the Ranger. Use the Ranger to splash damage onto her during this phase. And then hopefully she dies right here. Yep, she did. And if she doesn't, I'll run over here and then stack her up on the Major. But because she did, everything's good. Most times she does die right there. Very occasionally, if the Major and Melior die together here right in the beginning, there's a chance that they will respawn before she dies if I get really unlucky with the Ranger. So in that case, I have to basically just continue the cycle. There we go. Godsword Shard 2 achieved. Super happy to have that. I've seen people going dry on the shards, especially because some people with last recall have been skipping killing the minions. So I was really worried about going a little dry on Godwars shards. So there's the first one. Well, there was 100 Saradomin kill count, which is a 250 lead point task. No additional drops yet other than the Armadillo crossbow, though honestly can't complain because I'm not even at the drop rate for that yet. I do think I'm going to stay here another 25 kills because that'll be the drop rate for the hilt and the crossbow together. So that'll give me a good exit point where I've achieved the drop rate. It'll feel good. And there's some other things I still want to do this episode. So 25 more to go. Here's a nice sneaky little herb war level from just cleaning herbs during herb runs. I've done like 77 to 80 just cleaning my herbs during my herb runs. Not really anything super huge at 80, but getting really close to Saradomin Brews, which would be great. So time for a quick break to get a potential upgrade. I got the Zenyte Shard during the Slayer grind, and I want to use it to make a Ring of Suffering. I was debating between a Ring of Suffering and an Anguish, but I think the Ring of Suffering will provide more benefit to me in the immediate because it's such a good defensive ring. I now have the money required to both buy the Onyx and imbue the ring, so it gets double the bonuses, so I'm going to go ahead and get that knocked out. So don't quote me on this, but I'm never buying an Onyx this way again. It's so painful just sitting there selling 10 at a time. And then probably about every 5 minutes, some guy came up and just started chucking chaos runes at the rune seller. And it's just like, well, I guess I have to find a new world now. You have like no power in that situation. I'm just going to pay full price for an Onyx from now on. Okay, forming the second Zenyte of 4. There it is. Cut the Zenyte, then craft the Zenyte ring. So that's the second Zenyte piece of jewelry. If I enchant it, we have a Ring of Suffering. Let's go imbue it. So for those who are unfamiliar, Nightmare Zone is disabled on League Worlds, but the way it works for imbues is you exchange 1 GP per Nightmare Zone point you want. So basically it's going to cost 725k to imbue this ring, which is honestly pretty nice. I'd rather have that than the time required to actually go get it done. So if I take off everything I have, we take a look at the ring stats. This ring provides plus 20 in all defense, including magic, very crucially for my Saradomin method, and plus 4 prayer. I think that's much more valuable than the plus 4 and eventually plus 8 for the Seers ring magic attack, because even without that I'm above 60 and I will never splash any snares. So I'm going to give this a try at Saradomin for the time being and we'll see how it goes. For now, I'm not going to put any Rings of Recoil into the ring, because I actually don't want to do extra damage to the minions, because every point of damage that I can do to them will hopefully just also be bounced onto Commander Zileana. But I might wind up adding Rings of Recoil, we'll see how we go. And also for other bosses in the future, I'll definitely be adding Rings of Recoil. Just buying a few extra nature runes here. Does this auto restock? Nope. Poor Wizard, it does, great. I don't have a ton of money right now for making the ring, unfortunately, but I have enough to at least stock up a little bit. I actually used a lot of nature runes on this method. It doesn't seem like a lot because I only really used like 400 or so, but that means I've cast Snare over 100 times for 100, or I'm sorry, 1,000 times for 100 kills. So it's a lot of snares. Yeah, so with the Ring of Suffering, my magic defense goes up to 107. And my prayer bonus is up to plus 27, so that's a nice increase. It is at the cost of, I guess, plus 4 magic. It could be plus 8, but I haven't imbued it yet. But 86 will still be plenty. Oh, shoot. In the chat box there, I got a God Sword Shard 1 as I died. Oh, no. Watch, I'm going to go incredibly dry on the God Sword Shard 1 now, and it's going to feel so bad to know that I had it. No, I don't. That is Zilliana kill count number 125. No hilt, but getting the crossbow, I can't complain, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and stick around for the rest of this trip, but then I'm going to call it there. I need to get the occult and some other unlocks before I come back. And as you can tell by my inventory, the method is going pretty well. I am profiting on supplies most time I come. I'm leaving with full inventories of prayer pots and restores. It's working out pretty well. Once in a while I still get an unfortunate death or like a really bad round, which results in just a drain on supplies. Like you saw earlier, I lost a God Short Start 1. But other than that, it's been okay. Also, I can't quite tell if I like the Ring of Suffering a lot now. It feels like I'm splashing a little bit more on the minions, but at the same time, it definitely feels like I'm face tanking a few more hits. I don't know if it feels as good to splash as much, though, but maybe it's just my perception. It's really hard to tell with such a subtle difference to magic accuracy. That is Saradomin Sword number 5. Now I have Saradomin Swords for me and all my friends. So I wound up getting an additional 9 kills after that last one. That trip just would not end. So here's the loot. I got the Armadillo Crossbow, of course, which is really nice. 5 Saradomin Swords, and then I got Sword Shard 2 and Good Sword Shard 1, but I kind of died, so I don't have it. And we're not going to go dry on it, so it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and elk the extra Sarah Swords. I don't really see a reason to keep them. It would be nice to have as a trophy item, but because of the collection log keep track of them anyway, and we'll take a look at that at the end, I don't mind too much. I will hold on to one just in case. I don't know if there's a clue scroll step related for it, or if I might find some weird edge casey thing where it would be useful. So I'll hold on to the one, but the 312k cash is far more useful than 4 additional. And with this Karambwan, that should be 25 million cooking experience obtained for 250 league points. That one wasn't a big surprise at all. I haven't even cooked all the Karambwans that I fished, and on top of that, I think I might even just run out doing PVM. I've used something like 2,000 Karambwans already, and I've only got 6,000 in the bank and 6,000 raw. So I'm definitely going to have a good amount of cooking experience by the end of the league, maybe even over 50 million at this rate. So I'm actually going to call the video there. I feel like it's a good exit point. Had a chance to learn how to do Saradomin and Godwars using the Exploding Attacks Relic and Double Cast, which was such a blast. I can't wait to go back, especially with like the Occult Necklace. It'll be really exciting to see what happens. Not to mention because of the Armadillo Crossbow, that also allows me to do things in the future like better Demonic Gorillas and maybe even Armadillo. I'm still not sure if magic will be effective there or not. But seriously, thank you so much for watching. It has been such a joy and a pleasure to be able to cover the leagues. I'm having so much fun making these videos, and I hope that you have been enjoying them as well. If you enjoyed the video, definitely consider giving it a like. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Tell me how your league's adventure is going, because I certainly hope it's going well. And if you've enjoyed the series so far, be sure to give the channel a subscription. Click the little notification bell, you know, everything else you need to do to get a good YouTube experience, which involves seeing my videos. So, go for it. That said, I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.